let's talk about two of the world's first great civilizations, born thousands of kilometers apart. You've got Mesopotamia in the Fertile Crescent, and then you have the Indus Valley over in what's now Pakistan and India. For the longest time, we pictured them as these separate, isolated giants. But what if that whole picture is wrong? What if they were deeply connected, part of a single, sprawling Bronze Age global network? Well, that's exactly what we're uncovering right now. Okay, so our story kicks off with a real head-scratcher. Picture archaeologists digging in the sands of Mesopotamia, the land of ancient Sumer and Babylon. They find something that just doesn't belong. It's a small stone seal, the kind of thing someone would use to stamp their signature on property. But the style, the symbols carved into it, it's all wrong for Mesopotamia. It's a total mismatch. So if it wasn't made there, where did it come from? And maybe more importantly, how in the world did it end up buried here? And the answer is just astonishing. This little seal traveled over 2,000 kilometers, all the way from the Indus Valley Civilization. Think about that for a second. That's like something from London just showing up in ancient Egypt. This wasn't some random accidental journey. No way. This was hard evidence of a connection on a scale we had never even imagined. So you've got to ask, how on earth was a journey like that even possible 5,000 years ago? Well, the answer lies in the hidden highways of the Bronze Age. Here's the wild part. The world itself actually looked different back then. You see, during the 3rd millennium BCE, sea levels were way lower. This meant the Persian Gulf was a lot smaller, and the coastline between the Indus and Mesopotamia was much, much closer. A sea journey that's about 2,000 kilometers today, back then it was probably only half that distance. This wasn't some terrifying open ocean crossing. It was more like a well-traveled maritime highway. And hey, don't just take my word for it. We have actual written proof. This is a quote from Sargon of Akkad, one of Mesopotamia's first big-shot empire builders. He's basically boasting about all the awesome trade coming into his capital city. And listen to this. Ships from Meluhha may tie up alongside the quay. And get this. Meluhha, that was the Mesopotamian name for the Indus Valley Civilization. So this isn't some modern theory. They were writing about it themselves, thousands of years ago. Okay, so we've got the roots, and we know for a fact they were using them. But what exactly was flowing along these ancient highways? That brings us to what we can call the Great Exchange. The Indus Valley wasn't just shipping out basic raw materials. They were trading in luxury. We're talking valuable timber for building palaces, exotic ivory, special types of seashells that were prized for making jewelry. They even exported live animals. We found images on Mesopotamian seals of water buffalo, which were totally foreign over there. This was a sophisticated, high-end market. Let's just zoom in on one of these items for a second. The etched carnelian bead. These things were the absolute height of fashion in the ancient world. They were made with this incredibly advanced technique, using an acid to etch these beautiful, permanent white designs onto the red stone. Finding these beads in Mesopotamian royal tombs is like finding a Swiss watch in a medieval castle. It's proof of a trade in highly sophisticated, manufactured luxury goods. But here's the thing, this was not a one-sided relationship. It wasn't just stuff moving from east to west. Ideas, stories, and culture were flowing right back in the other direction. Okay, check this out. On the left, you've got a classic Mesopotamian image, a hero figure, a lot of people think it's Gilgamesh, wrestling 2 lions. Now look at the image on the right. That's an Indus Valley seal, and it shows an almost identical scene, a figure wrestling 2 tigers. The animals are local to the Indus Valley, but the idea, the story being told, is the same. I mean, could the epic tale of Gilgamesh have been told not just in the cities of Mesopotamia, but in the bustling towns of the Indus Valley? It's mind-blowing to think about. This connection, it went so much deeper than just beads and stories. Turns out, it was about people. It's one thing to picture ships loaded with cargoes sailing back and forth. But what about the people who made those goods? The sailors who sailed the ships, the merchants who told those stories. Did they ever make the journey themselves? For years, all we could do was speculate. But now, modern science is starting to give us some absolutely incredible answers. A genetic study on ancient skeletons dug up from tombs in Mesopotamia has revealed something that changes everything. And here it is, the smoking gun. They found that skeletons from this exact time period had specific genetic markers, basically signatures in their DNA that are only passed down from a mother to her children. And these genetic signatures originated in the Indian subcontinent. Now here's the kicker. Those same markers aren't found in people living in that part of the world today. This is direct biological proof that people of Indus Valley descent were living and dying in Mesopotamia. And if that wasn't enough for you, get a load of this. This is a Mesopotamian cylinder seal. It's kind of like an official ID badge or a signature stamp. And the inscription on it is just breathtaking. It identifies its owner as Shu Ilishu, interpreter of the Meluhin language, the language of the Indus Valley. I mean, come on. They had official, paid interpreters living in Mesopotamia. This confirms direct, formal, and ongoing contact between these two peoples. So let's just pull back for a moment and really wrap our heads around the sheer scale of this relationship. Let's understand who these two giants of the ancient world really were. We often think of Mesopotamia as the cradle of civilization, and it was hugely important. But look at this. The Indus Valley civilization was nearly 20 times larger, covering over 1 million square kilometers. It was, by a huge margin, the largest and most widespread civilization of its time. And the population was just staggering. We're talking an estimated 5 million people at its peak, living in more than 1,500 cities and settlements that we've found so far. This wasn't some remote trading outpost. This was an ancient superpower. So this incredible era of connection, it flourished for 700 years. It really gets going around 2600 BCE. It hits its peak during the time of those great Mesopotamian kings like Sargon. And then, around 1900 BCE, something changes. The great cities of the Indus Valley start to empty out. And just as mysteriously as it all began, this amazing connection between two worlds just fades away. So what this all means is that we've basically uncovered a lost chapter of human history, a truly globalized world way back in the Bronze Age. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? As our science gets better, as we get better at digging and analyzing, what other ancient connections, what other lost worlds are still buried out there, just waiting to be discovered?